This is Greg with NewEnglandConcertReviews.com, and I am here at Gigantor 2013 at Mohegan Sun Casino, and I have the privilege of speaking with Virus from Device.
What's up, y'all?
What's happening? Thanks for taking the time to speak to NECR. What's up and how goes it?
Well, it's day 2, isn't it? Yeah, it's show 2, and everybody's working out their bugs and getting into the swing of things. So it's all part of starting up the tour. But everything's cool. Everybody out here knows each other well. So it's cool seeing familiar faces and buddies, and it's good stuff, man.
Excellent. Let's see. Let's first talk about how you got involved with Device. Can you tell us about that?
If your recorder could see me pointing, I'm pointing at Will over there, Will Hunt. He kind of, him and Dave.
Hey, Will.
Yeah, Will was already kind of in the mix for the band, and then Will put my name in the hat, and I talked to David, and us three got together, kind of vibed out, talked about stuff, and it was kind of that quick. Everything felt right, and here we are.
Speaking of Dave, when he came to you with this, what was your reaction?
My first reaction, I was like, is this going to be another Disturbed? But, of course, everybody digs Disturbed, and I've toured with them a couple times back in my old dope days and stuff. So when I heard it, I thought it was really fresh, really dug the songs, and, I'm a singer myself, so I really, was impressed by the vocals, the harmonies, and songwriting. And, I've done, industrial rock my whole career, so, I dig it. So I was just really impressed, and then I was like, wow, I can be in this thing. Then I started getting really excited.
And how easy was it to adjust to the process?
To what process?
Well, the process of playing with Dave and Will and...
Well, you know what? There was kind of zero process. Because everybody knows each other. We've all done this for a while. It wasn't like we had to get together and go, all right, then we're going to do this, I'm going to do it. It was just like, we're all, it's only 3 of us. It was mainly individually. I know for me and Will, we really had to take it up a notch as far as being a trio, that we had to extend ourselves and what we were going to do technology-wise and what sounds we were going to produce, because we're a trio. So we didn't really get together and go, let's do this. Will was at home, programming his electronic drums and how am I going to do this, and getting all these modules for his drums, and I'm doing the keyboards and my guitars and getting that ready. So I think it was mostly individual. That was the process we had to learn. I had to get a whole new guitar rig and really dial in some key sounds and start singing a lot. I got to sing a lot and do those harmonies. And so it wasn't. It's kind of individualistic because we've been doing it a while, at this level. So we kind of just played a show. We rehearsed maybe 3 days.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was mostly for the technical side. It really wasn't for the music side of it. We all learned the songs and came in and we were ripping. Yeah.
Well, since Will's here, what's it like working with Dave and Will?
We'll wait till Will leaves the room. I've said it before, me and Will have been trying to play together for years, and just never could get it together, because, he's presently in 39 bands. He doesn't have time for me. So we can never get it together, and I've always respected David as a vocalist and as a businessman and a musician, so I'm just honored to have the privilege, because it really is. When you get a knock on a door or a phone call, and then someone's on the other end that you really respect and wants to play with you, that's kind of, it's really the ultimate compliment, in any career that you do. You want your phone to ring, you want someone to knock on your door and say, hey man, we think you're pretty good, why don't you come on over and we'll play some rock and roll. That's the ultimate compliment.
The new CD has made strides in its short existence. Do you think this solidifies the style of Device in not just you or the band's mind, but in the fans' minds as well?
Solidifies us as what, the sound you mean?
Yes, the style, sound.
I think there's it's pretty diverse if you really listen to it. There's a lot of diversity there. So I feel like we can do kind of whatever we want. Like that's kind of a really cool advantage is when you have a diverse first record, is that you can, we did another song like Haze, which is very synth heavy, and David's singing that low register, and it's just like a cool kind of new wavy rock tune. It's like we get to do that again if we want. Or we could do something really heavy like Part of Me. You know, we can make 3 or 4 more songs like that if we wanted to. If we want to make a heavy record, we can make a heavy record. We can make a very ambient record. So I think that I'm glad that the record's diverse. So it kind of it establishes us to be able to do anything after.
The first single, Vilify, overflows with metal force. What type of personal touch do you put on this song, or any song? In other words, do you use any special techniques that make this song speak virus?
Well, I would have if I played it on the album. Yeah, like that. You know, Gino and David made the record themselves, and me and Will were brought in after, so we didn't get to put our personal stamps on it. But you know, live, there's room in there. I love playing that song. I get to do some cool stuff. But next record, looking forward to putting a personal stamp on it.
Is there any particular song off this CD that you would call your favorite, and why?
I really dig Haze. I just think it's a really cool pop song. I really dig Penance. Was always one of my favorites. It's like I could play that song on an acoustic guitar. I'll sing it too, and you would be like, wow, what a really cool song. It's you know, you can make it a really dreary, dark acoustic. Really like that song as well.
The band has, to me, a 3-pronged style in a genre-based format, so to speak. You seem to blend mainly 3 specific genres with it. That's metal, industrialized, and electronic. And you more than successfully merge them. What other style would you say is in there other than these 3, if any?
I mean, I probably have to go to the pop sensibility, and I go back to a song like Haze, or Recover. You know, like the verses of Recover. It's kind of new wavy to me, you know. So I would say there's like pop, synth pop in there to me.
Yeah, I heard a little bit. I checked out the CD.
Yeah,
and
it's kind of bouncy and groovy. Yeah. It's not just guitars going da 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 da. You know, it's like a song like Haze is a really cool example, but of what we can do and where we can, what we can do in the future.
There are more than a handful of super talented artists on this tour and this CD. What is it like playing with Megadeth, BLS, Hell Yeah, Newstead, Death Division, and the special guests on this CD, if you have played with them? Any wild memories you could share?
I've toured with Black Label before, a couple of years ago with Dope, and I was talking to Nick. And he was like, man, we had a really good time on that tour. That was one of the best tours we've ever done. And I was looking back and reminiscing, me like, yeah, it really was. So coming to Gigantour with them here was really cool. I never even met Megadeth. I haven't met him yet. I'm looking forward to that. I didn't get to see him the last show, but I can't wait to check him out. Death Division, Tim Young's a friend of mine. He's also from the same hometown as me, so we were talking the other day. Haven't met Jason Newsted yet. Looking forward to that. Hell Yeah, I've done shows with them. And Will knows all these people as well. Probably a lot better than I do, but it's such a good vibe. You know, the camaraderie and you know, it feels like everybody's camping together on these big.
How does it feel, and what is it like playing the Ozzy and Lita cover, When I Close My Eyes Forever?
You know, I love that song. When I was a kid in the 80s, I loved it. And of course, Gino and Dave did a great job with our version. I really dig it, and the fans dig it. Because there's certain songs you like to play live. The ones that you dig as a musician, I like to play songs because of the guitar riff. It's cool. But then you like to play the ones that are fan favorites because they love it as well. So I just love that because of the reaction and what that song has meant for many years. It's such a cool song.
It is. You have other musical talents other than the guitar, and I kind of checked you out. Do you still find the time to play any of them, particularly the violin?
I can't play the violin anymore. I took it up again. I did it as a kid, and then I was tired of people laughing at me because it wasn't a cool instrument, so I started playing guitar. So that was the end of the violin. But then in my adulthood, I was like, I started to play piano. So I was like, I'm gonna pick up the violin again. I know I still got the chops, but I had some pain in my arm. I was getting these cramps, and it was just too painful. I think I got some kind of tendonitis in my shoulder, so I kind of stopped doing that. So I sold it actually, sold the violin.
You have played with many artists. Do you feel that has helped you grow as a musician?
Oh, absolutely. Especially when I was in dope for so long, and then I was like, and you know, I love to do pop music and acoustic music, like I was saying. Like that's really what I love to do the most, is sing and play acoustic guitar and sing harmonies. That's my favorite gig, and I realized that after a decade of playing with dope that I don't get those calls to do those gigs because no one knows that I can do it. So I remember when dope slowed down, I just started reaching out, and I moved back to New York City, and I started gigging around like I did before I was in a band with a record deal. Before I made it, I just started gigging around again. Like, hey, I'm available for this gig, and blah 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 blah. I started, and then so then I started. Then I did a Lords of Acid one, which is still rock, but it's techno. And then I did a bunch of Big and Rich shows in 2012, which really made people go, really, this guy's playing, country music and playing with those guys. So that really made people go, oh yeah, maybe this guy's just not just a metal guy, which was kind of the whole goal. So yeah, it helped me with my chops, and it helped me with my career because I think I'm capable of doing other things. I don't want people to think that I'm not. I love to play guitar. I love to sing, like to be paid for it, and like to get to play with different artists. Like, man, that's awesome. That's the goal.
How do you prepare for a show? Is any special rituals or?
Yeah, these guys laugh at me because I start getting ready like 2.5 hours before, or 2 hours before the gig. These guys will just, he puts his belt on and shit, he's ready to go. But I'll start getting ready a couple hours before, because I like to get in the suit. I like to get in the zone. I drink a couple beers, warm up vocally. I just like to be in the vibe. I need that time to kind of get in the thing. I don't like to be rushed. It freaks me out. It makes me feel like I'm not prepared and really uncomfortable. So that's kind of what I do for the show.
This is my last question, and it's kind of like a three-part question. First, what is next for Virus? Is Device a long-term home at this point? If so, how long before you guys get back to work on another CD? Or have you even talked about that yet?
I wish I could answer all these with definite answers, but it's too tough to answer. A lot of things can happen, but Device for me is my main thing, and I'm missing dope shows, and if the Lords of Acid tour came up again, I wouldn't be able to do it. Big and Rich asked me to play, I can't do it. This is what I'm doing now. If I have a hole, I'll do a dope show here and there, which I am coming up in a couple months. But this is kind of it for me, and I mean, me and Will were talking about this earlier. Like, we'd love to keep this momentum going from all this touring that we're going to do into next spring. And we want to start riffing around now with some music and start writing. And we would love to carry that momentum into making a record next year. Maybe, like just really get into it. I would just love for this thing to keep rolling. That would be my wish. I can't control what happens with David or with Will or whatever, but that's my take on it. I'd love for it to keep rolling, because this band's good, the music's good, and I think we could do some serious damage musically. We could make it the next record. I think it could be awesome.
Slaughter.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to it.
All right, cool. Well, hey, I want to thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely.
New England Concert Reviews thanks you. Okay. Good luck in the future. Have a great show tonight.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see you guys. It's going to be my first time seeing you,
All right.
so I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. See you tonight.
All right, thanks, man.
Later.